What is up, you guys? B-Ball Discussions here to give my predictions on the 2021 NBA Playoffs Conference Finals Edition. In the last round, I was wrong about the Brooklyn Nets. I was right about the Atlanta Hawks. I was right about the Phoenix Suns, and I was wrong about the LA Clippers. So I guess I was wrong about the Utah Jazz. I guess I was 2 for 2. That's not very good. Let's try to do better this time. Starting out in the Eastern Conference, we have the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Atlanta Hawks. That's pretty exciting. Firstly, going over the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo has looked spectacular. He is playing like an MVP. He's putting up an average of 28 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists per game. He is doing it all for the team. Chris Middleton has been a little shaky, but overall, he has played very well. Jrue Holiday, however, has not been shooting the ball well. Of course, we do need to give him credit. He's doing everything else really well. He's passing the ball, he's rebounding, he's playing good defense. He's just shooting a 39-24 split, which isn't good. And 69% of the foul line is also not very good. Brook Lopez almost cost the Milwaukee Bucks their season by a brain fart on an inbound play that just kind of blew me away when I saw it happen. But he is saving himself. He's a great rim protector, and he's been shooting the ball okay. Beyond those four, there is not a whole lot of consistency in the roster. PJ Tucker has been getting the majority of the minutes as the fifth guy. He's just out there to play defense, really. And then Pat Connaughton, I guess, has been stepping up. Bryn Forbes has been shooting well. Bobby Portis was playing well, but I think he's hurt. And that's it. That's pretty much their entire rotation. I really like this Bucks team, but if Chris Middleton or Jrue Holiday have a bad night, they're really, it knocks them down a lot. Now, the Atlanta Hawks, they had a great series against the Philadelphia 76ers that also went to 7 games. I predicted the Hawks would win that, so yay me. Trae Young is earning the nickname The Villain. He has played, he's been really good, don't get me wrong. 29 points, 10 assists per game, with over a steal. Mind you, everyone says he's a bad defensive player, and he is, but over a steal a game, that's hard to do. He's shooting the ball just okay. In fact, actually a little bit lower than okay. But he is orchestrating the offense masterfully, and the Hawks are getting upset wins like they shouldn't be, which is pretty cool to watch. John Collins is playing like someone looking to get a big contract extension. Danilo Gallinari, after a slow start to the playoffs, has performed very well. Bogdanovic hasn't been that good. Kevin Huerter had the game of his life. He went off for like 29 points or something like that. He played really well in that Game 7 against the Sixers. Clint Capella, not producing a ton, but he is the anchor to this defense, and he's been doing really well. The Hawks definitely have a much deeper team than the Bucks. The Bucks, though, have higher talent at the very top. Obviously, Giannis is... Let me think. Yeah, Giannis is the best player still in the playoffs. Trae Young is really stinking good, but he's not nearly on Giannis's level. But who's going to win the series? Oh boy, I would love to see the Bucks go to the NBA championships. I would absolutely love that. That would mean so much to Giannis Antetokounmpo. So much. And this probably is one of the best chances he's ever going to have, at least in the next 4 years. The reason for that is their salary situation for this franchise is not very good. Going ahead 2 years, next year, they're pretty much stuck with what they have, minus PJ Tucker. Then 2 years from now, they have $134 million committed to 4 guys, and then Pat Connaughton maybe, and some random young guy. Going ahead 3 years, $120 million already committed to just the trio of Middleton, Antetokounmpo, and Holiday. They really shot themselves in the foot by giving that fat extension to Holiday. So I genuinely think if they're going to win it, this is their best chance to get it. Not next year, not 2 years from now. And I know Giannis is only 26. He's going to be great for a while to come, but everyone else around him is aging. Meanwhile, the Hawks, I really like all these guys. Trae Young. Okay, so there's a YouTuber out there. I'm not going to say his name. Big name YouTuber. I used to watch him, but he just kind of became a little too full of himself, so I stopped watching him a while ago. And he made a bold prediction saying Trae Young will never win a championship. And I was just... It's one of those statements that people on the radio make, people on TV make, just for the sake of controversy. You know, saying a 22-year-old who's already been an all-star and is as good as Trae Young will never win a ring is kind of it's a dumb thing to say. If Trae Young can get to the NBA championships, there's a chance he's going to win that ring. There's a 1 in 4 chance he wins it. That would be super cool to watch. Luka Doncic is the number 1 player in that draft, but Trae Young is the one still in the playoffs. And then just all these other guys, like Clint Capella, I want to see him get that far. John Collins, everyone. So, like, a year ago, I made a top 100 players list, and I had John Collins pretty high. He was in my top 50, maybe even my top 30. I don't remember exactly. And I got some negative comments about that, saying, oh, he's a loser. He just puts up empty stats, which is just the funniest thing, honestly. He put up 21 and 10 last year on a 58-40 split. And everyone was saying, oh, he doesn't shoot well. 40% from 3-on-3 attempts a game is perfectly great. Oh, he doesn't protect the rim, 1.6 blocks per game. Now, this year, everything kind of went down a little bit because his role went down. The team obviously went a lot better, but he's still just about as effective. 55% from the field on 12 shots a game with 40% three-point shot on 3 shots a game again. I don't know how you can hate on that. 17 and 7 as like the second or third option. Collins getting to the finals. That'd be pretty cool. All right, I've been kind of lollygagging long enough. That's not the right word. I think the Atlanta Hawks are going to the NBA championships and they will beat the Bucks in 6 games. All right, how do I top that? In the Western Conference, we have the Phoenix Suns taking on the LA Clippers. My favorite team taking on the second team in LA. All right, I got a lot of notes about the Suns here. I kind of have a sheet of notes written in front of me if you're wondering. I'm kind of a cheater. So Chris Paul is out again. He gets hurt every other game, it seems like. Well, he's not hurt right now. He's out for coronavirus protocols, which means he could be out for either one game or, I don't know, the rest of the playoffs. We really don't know. And it's kind of frustrating because it's all just so, kind of mysterious. Like, we don't truly know. We're in the dark. We don't know if he's sick. We don't know if he just happened to come in contact with somebody. We don't know if he's vaccinated. And I get a lot of that, like, oh, it's not my right to know that. But is it my right to know if Kawhi Leonard has a torn ACL? I mean, it's his personal business. But as someone watching the sport of basketball, I'd like to know what's going on. So, yeah, I wish I knew more. Chris Paul has been playing amazingly throughout the playoffs. If he's not going to play, though, then we have a problem. Now, Cameron Payne has stepped up pretty well. In I think it was like 5 or 6 games throughout this entire playoff so far, we played over 20 minutes. He's averaging 13 points, 5 assists with a 39% three-point shot. His 41% field goal percentage is not that good. So he's not as good as Chris Paul, obviously, big shocker there, but he's still producing really well. He's stepping up. The problem is after Payne, there's kind of a big drop-off. Devin Booker stepped up big time in Game 1. Spoiler alert, I did watch Game 1 already. I was waiting for the Eastern Conference to finish up their second round before I make this video. So I know Devin Booker had the Phoenix Suns' first triple-double in playoff history since 2005 when Steve Nash did it, which is pretty cool. They've been running E'Twaun Moore as the backup point guard because of his, he has experience. But he really doesn't, I don't think he should be out there. I think Javon Carter has earned the minutes on the court in the playoffs as the backup point guard when Chris Paul is hurt. Carter is a great defensive player who gives 150%, and he can shoot threes pretty well. Now, he's streaky, don't get me wrong, but we all are. Like, I trust Javon Carter out there more so than I trust E'Twaun Moore, especially considering we've already seen E'Twaun Moore out there for like a handful of games, and he looks kind of overmatched. It seems like everyone's moving a step faster than him. Everyone's a little more physical than him. The Suns need to have a backup point guard who I think is going to be more of a nuisance. Other notes I have, Dario Saric was completely bullied by Demarcus Cousins in the first half of Game 1, and I felt bad for him, but he picked it up in the second half. Torrey Craig, though, I think needs to get more minutes. Craig has been incredibly efficient in his like 14 minutes a game, or even it's like 11 minutes a game. It's something like that. He needs to be on the court more. It's 12 minutes a game. I just looked it up. Of course, though, we got to talk about Devin Booker. Devin Booker is looking like a top 10 player in the NBA, which, go back to my top 100 video from a year ago. I said that. You might be wondering why I don't have a top 100 video for this year. That's because I was moving. / buying a home, so I was kind of busy. But Devin Booker would be in my top 10 right now. And then we have Deandre Ayton. Ayton got a lot of praise in round 1. He was exceptional for his offense and his defense. Round 2, he kind of laid back a little bit, wasn't as spectacular, but his defensive versatility is what truly helped the Suns get to well, they swept the Denver Nuggets. That's right. Actually, I'm looking at the numbers here. He put up 14 points, 10 boards a game, which is definitely down from round 1, but dude played so well on defense. You have to watch the games. You look at 14 and 10 and you're like, oh, that's not very good. And that's just, I'm rambling again. All right, LA Clippers, what do they have going on? Well, Kawhi Leonard is MIA for who knows how long. It could be what he did with the Spurs. It could be one game. I don't know. Paul George has been stepping up. Now, playoff P is a joke. It is. He is a joke. But Paul George has been playing pretty well. He is putting up 26, 8, and 5 on a 44-37 split. That's pretty exceptional. I don't know if it's first team, all playoff first team, some little imaginary award I just made up, but it might be all playoff second team. I'll have to sit down and think about that. Reggie Jackson has been stepping up really well. Marcus Morris is a okay shooter, well, slightly above average. Batum has been a great role player for him. It's funny because he's literally the same guy he was in Charlotte, but he was paid so much in Charlotte, everyone thought he was trash. And now that he's paid exactly what he's worth, everyone's like, yeah, Batum, what a valuable guy to have on your team. I just think that's funny. Demarcus Cousins looked like a man amongst boys in the first half of game 1, but then fell off a cliff after that. Terrence Mann had the game of his life to put the Utah Jazz away. That was pretty cool. Phoenix Suns got to try to prevent that from happening again. And then I want to talk about Ivica Zubac, who is like 7'1" and one of the thickest guys in the NBA. And he sucks at being a big man. He cannot take advantage of his height. He doesn't finish his dunks. He's not rebounding well. He doesn't protect the rim. Really, that's the only center on this team, and he's just useless out there. Oh, okay, Demarcus Cousins is a center, but he's like 6'9". Okay, time for the predictions. Obviously, the presence of Kawhi Leonard and Chris Paul are going to influence the series. I don't want to pretend like that's not true. I hate that people kind of make the whole, oh, if this team would have had this guy, they would have won, and it's easy. Some people say if Jamal Murray would have played against the Suns, obviously the Nuggets would have won. And I disagree with that. The Suns pretty much embarrassed the Nuggets in 4 games. The only game that was close was the last one. I don't see why all of a sudden Jamal Murray's would just put them right over the top easily. That just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And people get all hung up about Anthony Davis getting a little hurt in the first round, saying that obviously the Lakers would have won had Davis not got hurt. I hate the shoulda, coulda, woulda game because it's a pessimistic way of looking at accomplishments and just trying to knock people down. Like if you really believe that, then you should be on the radio because that's what they do on the radio. All right, who's gonna win? I'm going with the Phoenix Suns in 5. So the NBA championships will be, you heard it here first, the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Phoenix Suns, which, fun fact, will be the first time either of those two teams have won a championship. And actually, I'm going to look that up real quick because I'm not sure if that's true. Atlanta Hawks championships. They may have won one. Okay, 1958. Yeah, okay. All right. It'll pretty much be the first time either of these teams have won a championship, which will be pretty cool. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoy the conference finals. Again, comment, like, and subscribe. I don't know if I even said that earlier. I will see you all next time.